choice. You can dream if you believe. Give it all you've got. They are fast, I am faster. They are strong, but I'm stronger. I'm the best, so I pick up my chest. My dream, my speed, and my strength. Give me the power to win.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back again to Issues That Matter. I am your host, Rasheeda Malade Sule. It's been a minute. Can't we say that? It's truly been a minute. And I'm so excited to be here again with you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out to check us out again. I have an amazing, and when I say amazing, you're going to say amazing as well, guy with me here. His name is Dave Ajarin, a guy that I've known for about 4 to 5 years. And he's on the show today to tell us a little bit about his story. How he moved from having a story to now God giving him glory in what he's doing. So everybody help me welcome Mr. Dave
Hey,
Ajarin.
how are you,
We're
Rasheeda?
good, we're good.
Awesome, and
Good.
glad to be on your show. This is an awesome thing you got going here.
Thank you.
I really like the fact that you're all about helping people
Yeah.
and just educating people and making people more aware. I think that's incredible. Issues that matter. I love it.
Yeah, thank
I
you
love it.
so much.
Yes.
Well, Dave, I've known you for about 4 to 5 years, and you've literally grown before my eyes in those 4 years. Just seem as if you just super shot yourself to the top, and I'm really grateful for what God has done in your life.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to talk a little bit to you so that I want you to talk to our audience about your story, who you are, where you're from, and I'll ask the rest of the questions later. Let's figure out what your story is all about.
Well, I'm from Nigeria.
Really?
Yeah. I think that was a good start because people are always surprised.
Always confused.
They're like, you don't look like one of us,
Well,
but
what do they
I,
ever say you look like
but
though?
but I do. They say I look like the typical American.
Oh,
But
okay.
when I talk though, some of them pick up on an accent.
Okay.
But that's sometimes
Yeah.
they do. Sometimes they
Yeah.
don't. I was born in Baltimore. I was born in Baltimore,
born in
Maryland.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I was born in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
But my dad took us back to Nigeria.
Okay.
This was way back in '81.
Okay.
And from '81 till '96, I lived in Nigeria. Lived mostly in River State, Port Harcourt,
How was
Port
that?
Harcourt, River State.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah.
We moved a lot. My dad was a customs officer,
Okay.
so we actually moved a lot. But it was pretty neat. I mean, that was where I called home really,
Okay.
because I was there all the time.
That was your foundation.
Yeah, I started at I started a primary school over there, and it was interesting. Me and you were talking earlier about me being in school, and it was just so interesting because for whatever reason I was just never accepted in school by my peers.
Hold on. You're Nigerian,
Yeah,
and you weren't accepted
no,
in Nigeria. Hello.
but it's interesting because I have a very unique type of nose. My nose is more like pointed.
Yeah.
And the average Nigerian doesn't have a pointed nose, so
Well, yeah,
they
that's
took
true.
they took offense to that. And when I say they, I'm talking about my peers at school.
Really?
They felt like, why you not like us? And
Wow.
it's interesting, all through nursery school, going all the way to primary 5. I'm sorry, I can't believe I said primary 5. All the way to senior secondary, which of course
High
is
school?
high school in America. All the way through, I was either getting in fights, I was either getting with just having problems, because there was always like, why you got this long nose going
Oh
on?
my
And
God,
I mean, really, and it's like, but
That's
but
your
that's how
nose.
God made me,
Oh my
So
God.
that was basically school life.
Wow. What did
All
that
through.
Do? But what did that do to you, though?
Um,
That must have been that was harsh.
At first it was a little confusing,
Right.
because as a young kid, it's
Right.
like, why can't you accept me? Like,
Right.
I'm one of you,
I'm one of you.
Like, really? So it was hard as a but as I got older, I started getting to the higher primary schools and all. And secondary school, I started getting a little more confident, and I
Okay.
started saying, hey, look, this is me, so you have to accept me. the way I
That's it.
am.
That's it.
But it was interesting. It was interesting, and I came back here to the U.S. in '96.
Okay. Coming back to the U.S. now, from Nigeria and all of that being said, and you got your confidence back and all of that. So when you were coming, what your dad just told you you're going to America, or you always knew that you were going to come to America?
Yeah, I always knew I was going to come back to America because my mom was always here.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom was always here, but my dad was in Nigeria with us.
Okay.
So I always knew that I would come back.
And what were you expecting coming back? What were you?
You know, there's just always this expectation of America because sometimes we had friends. I never went to America one time
In
when I
all
was
those
in
years.
Nigeria. Yeah, I never
Right.
went, but there I had friends who did go,
Right.
and they'll come back and tell us all this incredible
Oh,
tales.
wow.
I mean, you know, I was real young. I was real young. I was a baby when I went
Right.
back to Nigeria.
Wow.
There was nothing I could remember about America besides the movies, watching the movies and the
Right,
shows and the
right,
comedy shows.
right.
So people will come and they'll bring these magazines and they'll show us all this great stuff happening. And I used to say to myself, wow, I can't wait to go
Can't
to that
wait to
country.
go to
I can't
America."
wait to go back and you know, I'm going to make something great of myself. I didn't know what I would do, but
Right.
I just always felt that I would make something of myself. But here's what's interesting, though. Let me just kind of press the rewind button a little bit. When I was younger, you know, I told you what I went through in school.
Right.
But personally, and I was never an A student.
Okay.
Never an A student in
Did
school.
did you do B?
No, never a B student either.
What did you do?
And sometimes C. Sometimes C and D students. I was never academically inclined. I was never one of those. I was more of a visionary. I always thought. I was always thinking about different things I want to accomplish in life. I was never into the study stuff.
Wow.
But it's interesting because of this. Somebody that I really admired, somebody that I really looked up to, somebody that I really revered,
Right.
called me up one day and said to me, Dave, you're not an A student, and you're not a B student,
Oh my God.
and you're sometimes a C student.
Just shot everything down. Wow.
So guess what?
Uh-huh.
You're never gonna amount to nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Someone
Oh
told
my
me that
God.
as a really young lad, that I'll never amount to nothing. I'll never become nothing.
Who
that
does
I'll
that?
end up. I don't know. You know, there's a term in Nigeria where you push wheelbarrows in the marketplace.
Oh my God.
And this individual told me that's what you end up doing.
That was your That was what? Oh my God.
Yeah, that you end up pushing wheelbarrows in the market. You know, because I don't know if you know how they do it in the market where they push
But
the
you were a child.
the wheelbarrows. Yeah, where they push the
Where
wheelbarrows.
they push them in
Yeah, and they, you know, they give you, they put stuff in there.
Stuff in
You
it.
take it to somewhere else. They give you maybe a couple of naira, you know, that's the Nigerian currency, and they give you a few naira or whatever, you know, and you never make it in life that way.
Right.
Because I sell some of them, and this individual told me that that's what I will end up becoming.
My God.
And
How did you
so
feel at that time?
It was a hard blow,
Right.
and for a second I believed it. Well, I can't believe I said for a second. For a few years, I believed that.
Wow.
I believed that that I would never amount to much. I always knew that. I always thought if I came to America, so that was always something very comforting for me. That if
Right.
I come back to America, maybe I'll change that. You know,
Yeah.
maybe I won't be nothing.
Right.
You know. But it's interesting. Like I said, I came in '96, and
But
got-
you know what? Let me just tell my audience that it's interesting how you can change that for the positive.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, they would get stuck there.
oh, absolutely.
That would be it for them. Like they would not be able to move further.
Absolutely.
From this person.
Yes.
You know, let it be a teacher, let it be any type of grown up that you look up to.
Yes.
That would say such a thing to a person.
Yeah, especially when you revere the person and you admire the
Right,
person,
you look up
and
to
you're
the
like, I want to be
person.
like this person.
Oh my God.
You know,
and he
so
just shut you down.
yeah,
just like
yeah,
that.
yeah. But
Wow. Well,
you
we
know,
thank God for today.
yeah,
Hello.
because I'm telling you. But don't get me wrong, it was a little rough when I came to the U.S. when I came back in '96.
Okay.
It was a little rough, and I had the many minor jobs, and I'll lose them, and I'll go get another job. And you know, I remember when I first came, though, I demanded. I worked at Hardee's restaurant, the fast
Wow.
food restaurant,
Right.
my first job ever. My
Right.
brother had worked there,
Right.
so you know it was easy. I was going to follow in his footsteps,
Yeah.
right? And I got in there, and I said, "How much did you pay my brother?" And they said, "We paid him $5 an hour." I said, I said, well, I want 550.
Okay, I want more than my brother.
And I had my shoulders high. And they said, we'll give you 550 an hour.
Okay.
And I felt so good when I walked out of there.
Oh
I
my
thought I was a
God.
made man. It was my first job, you know, so I was
Wow.
excited.
That's
And
awesome.
but of course after that I went to Popeyes
Right.
and I went to Family Dollar. So I just worked all these mini minor
Wow.
jobs and really didn't things didn't. I went to school. I went to college a little bit, 2 years in college. At that point I realized that college really wasn't for me
4 years.
because I'm more of a creator. I love to create stuff. I like to think, well, what about that and what about this and
And,
you
and
know.
you said something earlier. You said you're a visionary.
Yes.
You see things.
Yes.
And this is what a lot of millionaires, a lot of the millionaires that are millionaires now,
Yes.
were all visionary people.
Yes.
You know, they didn't go through the college and go through, you know, I'm not saying don't finish college, but
Yeah, yeah, and
amazing.
it's interesting. I just needed to spread my wings,
Right.
you know, and,
Right.
and for me personally, I'm not saying for anybody else, but school just didn't allow me to spread
you,
my
yeah.
wings like I wanted to.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it was still rough,
Right.
and I went through a few things and went through some ups and downs here and there, and money was definitely always a problem.
Money was always a problem.
Money was always a problem. Getting ahead was always a problem. You know, it was always living paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck.
And then when you come up a little bit, then something happens and the money goes. And I never remember I got scammed one time. I had saved up some money, saved up to $60,000.
Wow.
So excited, you know, having
Right.
$60,000 in the bank. And then this scam artist, really good at what this individual did, came in my life. Made me invest all the money in real estate. I didn't know that he was literally signing the checks over to himself.
Oh my
and
goodness.
so it
And all
was
that
really
was
bad.
gone.
Oh yeah, it was gone. I
That must
never.
have been devastating.
Oh yeah, it was devastating. I never forget. After, I mean, things were so bad. I was about to file bankruptcy and all, and I remember calling this individual, this guy that scammed me for 60,000, and I was pleading for him to give me just $1,000. I said, just give me $1,000, and I'll let the other
Out of your own
59.
money.
Yes, I said I'll let the other $59,000 go.
Wow.
Because I was doing so bad
Bad.
financially,
Wow.
so bad.
Wow. So when did this turnaround come for you?
You know, the turnaround came. I'll never forget. It was so bad that I went to Section 8. You know, Section 8 where they give you all this
The
stuff.
apartment, housing.
Yeah.
They pay for your apartment. or
Yeah, they
something
do
like
all that stuff, but I didn't. You know, I was still able to pay. I was backed up on my rent. I was backed up on my bills.
Wow.
So I was backed up on those. But food, I had never starved in my life. I never starved. I didn't know what
Especially
starving.
America
I started
starves.
starving.
Wow.
I was starving, Rasheeda.
Wow.
And I went.
Hungry?
I went to. No, really, it was so bad. I went to in Georgia. I live in Georgia now, of
Okay.
course. And I went to Covington Highway in Georgia, and they had a place there. I looked them up. I looked them up online, and I found them, and I went there, and I was so relieved because they gave me 2 bottles of apple juice. I still remember 2 bottles of apple juice. They had it in a carton, you know, one of those brown carton boxes. 2 bottles of apple juice. Then they gave me this canned tomatoes, which I ain't open till today.
Tomato?
Yeah, tomatoes in a can, corn in a can, you know, corn.
Wow.
Then they gave me this butter, you know, the butter, the one that looks like a block.
Wow.
That
okay.
I mean, that's you don't even know what to do with that
So
stuff.
what's-
It's
yeah,
so
like,
hard.
Did they
I
give
mean,
you bread?
yeah, they gave me some bread too.
Okay.
So they gave me just little stuff, and they gave me and it's interesting. I got in the car. I ran to the car.
Uh-huh.
I ran to the car because I couldn't have anybody see me.
Wow.
You know, could you imagine what people would have said about me, seeing
was
me
it like a
there?
homeless shelter or?
No, it wasn't a shelter
where they were
place. It
giving
was no,
free
it's just a
food?
government. It's a government facility
Okay,
where they
okay.
cater to people
Okay.
who don't have any money.
Okay.
So it's not a shelter where you go live. It's just somewhere where they provide food for you if you're struggling, which is a great thing about America, I must
Right.
say, because I don't even know how I would have done it if that wasn't the case. But I got in the car real quick. I drove right across the street. I drove so fast out of that place. You know, I
my
thought to
God.
myself, I said, what if my tire had gone flat?
Oh my God! If somebody would have met you there.
Somebody I know. But then I thought about it too. If they met me there, what? Then I'll ask them, well, you here too. It don't matter you met me here. But I ran across this street, and it was a church, and I drove into the parking lot and stopped my car. And I called a very good friend of mine, and I said to this friend, I said I can't live like this anymore. Yeah, so that was the turning point. I had tears in my eyes, and I was just full of so much emotion because I felt that was the first time I had ever gotten to that low in my life.
Yeah.
I've been low, but I've never been that low.
Wow.
And so when that happened, I said, "This is America."
Right.
And I remember when I came to America, yeah, I know somebody told me when I was younger, I'll never amount to nothing, but this is America. This is the land of opportunities.
Right.
This is the #1 country out there right
Right.
now.
Right.
And I said, I have to make it. That's what I said over the phone to my friend. With tears in my eyes, I said, I'm going to make it because I'm not going to live like this anymore.
Right.
This is the first time and the last time I'll ever come for assistance.
Wow.
And everything changed after that, Rasheeda.
Oh, after that confession.
Yeah, everything changed.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
it's amazing how life works. You know, God, you know, one of my favorite books is this book right here in my hand. This is one of my favorite books ever, the Bible.
So is
And
mine.
this is amazing. My mom gave me this book with my name on it.
Aw.
And yeah, she gave me this one of my birthday gifts, one of the best birthday gifts I ever got.
Wow.
Because I got to read it and I love it because it's very simplified.
Right.
You know, the King James Version is good, but it's very
Which
hard
one is
for me
this?
to
What
understand.
version?
This is more like a new revised version.
Okay.
And so I got to read it, and it was simple English, and it was so easy to understand.
And the book that he's talking about, guys, is the Bible.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Hello?
I didn't. This ain't
He's
the
talking
Bible.
about the Bible, the Word of God.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
that's
Word
what
of
kept
God.
down.
Yeah, and so you know, I began to read this book, and it told me that you know, it told me, and I gotta tell this story because this is what I got from the book. You know, when a man and a woman have sexual intercourse, okay, or I might even speak to your audience. When your mom and dad, I think I should say it that way, right? When your mom and dad had sexual intercourse, scientists have proven that when a man releases his sperm, there are 500 million of them aiming for the ovary. 500 million sperms. And it's a tough struggle. It is tough. It is brutal. It's called survival of the fittest, right? And out of those 500 million, God, because, oh, by the way, God was watching when your parents had sexual intercourse. So just so you know, God was right there. He was watching it. And then what God does, he begins to sift through. I got that from this book, the Bible. He began to sift through the 500 million. And he says, or he said, you know what, that one, I'm going to take a chance on that one.
On that one.
That one right there. Yeah, that's you. I'm talking to you right now watching this. And once I started reading this, I began to start understanding that God took a chance on me the day, you know, that my parents had sexual intercourse. And it's interesting because guess what? I got to realize that I was a winner even before I was born.
Even before you were born.
Isn't
Wow.
that interesting? Because it
That's
takes
awesome.
9 months after the sperm gets to the ovary. It takes 9
To
months.
now develop.
Exactly.
And become a child.
So you were a winner. You ready for this? You were a leader. Because you had to lead the other 500 million. The other 499.
499 million
Yeah.
sperms running.
Yeah, the leader because you won. And it's when I began to have this understanding that I'm a leader. I was born to be a leader. I was
Born to be a
created.
leader.
I was created to be a leader. I was created to win in life. God chose me out of 500 million. He
Exactly.
chose me.
Exactly.
So I began to realize that, and it's amazing when you begin to realize who you are as a person. Opportunities.
Just starts to come for you.
Yes.
Start to develop around you.
Yes.
And that's what I'm trying to, you know, bring out to a lot of my viewers is
Yes.
that, you know, life happens. Seasons and time, life happens.
Yes.
But the thing is, you were meant to be here for a reason, for
Absolutely.
a purpose. So I love the illustration that you just gave. 500 million things running around.
Uh-huh.
Woo!
And only one makes it.
And only one made it.
And that's whoever,
us.
your audience right now watching this, whoever's watching this on YouTube, wherever they're watching
Right.
this,
You
I
made
really
it.
want them to know that you're the one. You are
made it.
special. It doesn't matter what anybody told you. Because I know I'm not alone.
Right.
There are people out there who someone has told them before, you would never be nothing. Some people even validate it. They try to validate. They say your mama wasn't nothing. Your mama was broke all her
Wow.
life. Your daddy wasn't nothing. Your daddy was
Wow.
broke all your life. So what makes you think you deserve
make it.
to be the exception?
Right. Ooh.
And some people, are you ready? Some people are living that lie till today. Some of them are in their 20s, some of them in their 30s, some of them in their 40s, 50s.
60s even.
Working jobs, making 20, 25, 30,000 a year, maybe 40 if they're lucky, believing that they don't deserve a chance to be successful. They don't deserve a chance to have a better life. They don't deserve a chance to put good food on the table for their children. It's sad. And one thing why I love what I do, you know, as far as being in business now, is helping people realize their full potential.
Right.
Realize that they can live the life they want to live.
Right.
They can live in the home they want to live. They
Right.
can buy the cars they want to buy. They can put their children through private school.
And they just have to change their mindset.
Exactly.
Just change your mindset. Your mindset is extremely important.
Yeah.
Because when you made that confession, even saying it, I had goosebumps growing on me. Just saying, declaring that confession,
Yes.
things begin to work around you.
Absolutely.
Things begin
Absolutely.
to fall in place. Now, Dave Ajaran, with all of that story being made, he is a Nigerian millionaire in Atlanta, yes.
Absolutely.
At the ATL, in the ATL, I'm rubbing with a millionaire right now, okay? Rubbing with a millionaire right now. So he went through all of that to come and tell you the story, and then for God's glory to show within him.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
You know, I must say this. You know, I had a very rough childhood, and I told you just a little bit, a fraction. We'll do another show where I'll go step by step how rough it was. Okay, but you know what? I found out that all that was, because God was present while all that was happening. Because sometimes I questioned, but I was a kid. I was a kid. Why do people go, why are my peers going to hate me? Why did somebody have to tell me I'll never amount to nothing and nearly shut me down? And you know what I realized is that God was just trying to build me up. He was trying to build me up for a time like this. For a time for me to be able to use my story to reach out to God's people. And that's why I believe we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. So whatever struggle or whatever hardships that anybody has encountered as a child or growing up, they have to really begin to understand it was all for a purpose.
For purpose.
You know, and even Jesus Christ,
went through something.
Most of your audiences, they believe in Jesus Christ. And even Jesus Christ had to go through pain to save us. Isn't that interesting? Why did he have to go through the pain? Why? It's Jesus Christ. He didn't have to, but he did to show you that pain is necessary for growth. Pain is necessary for success. And now looking back, I really begin to appreciate what I went through. Oh, by the way, I got to say something. I have to say this. I just felt this. Because I heard someone say this one time. Whatever you've gone through, whatever you've been through, whatever I went through, listen, you ready? But you didn't die.
You didn't die. You didn't lose yourself in the process.
Isn't that interesting? See, by us not dying, see, God was trying to use us to help somebody else in the future. And could you imagine somebody comes to you and they say, hey, Rasheeda, I'm having this hardship and everything is going crazy and my life is just ridiculous right now. And you say to them, you're a failure. That's why your life is ridiculous. You know? No, it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way.
You should be able to say, you know what? I understand. Because I've experienced some of it before. So I began to realize that my experiences was for me to use as an adult. You know, success, become successful so I can help other people. So I can help them regardless of where they are in their life. Because there are a lot of people struggling, Rasheeda. If you go out there in the real world, even here in America, you'll find out that there's so many people going through so much hard times. And sometimes they need people like us to be able to look at them and say, hey, listen, doesn't matter what you're going through. I done been there. Probably been a little worse than you are right now. Because, I mean, you name it. Have they kicked me out of a house? Well, I've been kicked out of my home before.
You ate from a government stationary.
Oh, yeah. I've been kicked out.
Wow.
I was so embarrassed to go back to the house when they kicked me out of my house. God was with me because I got a new house when they kicked me out. But they put all my stuff out. So one of my good friends, remember the good friend I called and said I can't live like this anymore? That's the friend that helped me go pick up all my stuff outside. Till today, I can't even thank her enough how she was able to put up with that embarrassment. Well, it wasn't her house, so maybe that's why. But me, I couldn't face my neighbors.
My goodness.
She told me the neighbors were out there like leeches, trying to get my stuff that they were putting. So I've been through it. I've been through it. The car. I've lost the car. Or the car being repossessed. I had it all happen.
My
But
goodness.
you got to always understand that regardless of what's going on in your life, regardless of how hard it is, it's okay. It's only going to get better
It's
from
only
here.
going to get better.
It's only
And
going
the
to get
thing
better.
is, what I wanted to say to my audience is that in order for you to have a testimony,
Yes,
you have to have gone through the test.
exactly.
And it's all just a test.
Yeah.
I have this painting in my wall in my office, and it says, "This too shall pass."
Yes,
It's just for a moment. If
Yes.
you do not go through it, you have to. It's like gold. We wear gold, we love gold. It had to go through all of that heat to come out on the other side.
oh,
and
wow.
shine.
That's a good one.
It had to go through that
That's a
heat.
good one, yes.
And it gets so hot. You guys cannot even imagine how hot
Yeah.
it gets for this gold to come out shining. And all we just do is throw it on.
Uh-huh,
And
yeah,
look pretty.
yeah,
Look
yeah,
nice.
uh-huh.
But you have no idea what that gold just went through.
Yeah.
No idea.
And it becomes
So
a
the thing
precious
is,
metal.
We look at people, we judge them by the way they look. It looks so fabulous and he awesome. You don't know the story behind this dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening to it and I'm like, wow, from just having a straight nose as a child was a problem for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And I'm just thinking about it, my God, and children these days, they don't even tell them that much that they want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're
They
right.
want to commit suicide.
You're right.
And just know that in life you have to go through something to get to where you really want to be.
Yes.
And it was so awesome the way you brought the book of God, because this is truly our life manual.
Yes.
Whether anybody likes it or not, I tell you. I usually tell my audience to please go to a shop, Bible shop or Christian shop.
Yes.
Either at your church, pick up a Bible that ministers to you.
Yes.
Like you said, the King James Version was a bit whatever.
Yeah.
But I have contemporary, I have the Living Translation, I
Yeah.
have so many.
Yes.
I have the Amplified.
Exactly.
Read the one that ministers to you and learn from that, because from the illustration that Dave made of 500 million sperms running around, and at the end of the day, God allowed you to make it.
Yes.
And then you come out, he also gave you a manual of how to live, and then we just struggle all the days of our life.
I know.
Struggle and not try to figure it out. So my last question to you is, we've heard of the struggle. We've heard of the phone call that you made. We've heard about the confession that you made. How did it really turn around for you? At what point did you get into a business?
Yes.
And you know that this business was it and you followed it through? Because in the years that I've known you, you usually say something about
Stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Yes.
Can you please explain that for us a little bit?
Well, everything like we just said happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So when I made that decision that I was never gonna live like this anymore, the phone rang the next day.
No
Yeah,
way.
I'll never forget. It was September 9.
Woo!
September 9,
Seriously?
2006. The phone rang, and a business partner had called me.
Wow.
And he said, "Hey, Dave, I want you to take a look at something. I want you to take a look at what I'm doing right now. It's unbelievable. This stuff's going to change all our lives." And me being very open-minded, see, in life, you have to be open-minded.
Have to be.
So I was open-minded. I said, "Hey, you know what? What if God is opening the door for me right now?" So I went, I took a look. It changed everything. It changed everything. And what if I told you in 9 short years, I'm going to be a millionaire? In 9 short years.
You're a millionaire already. I don't
Do
know
you
what
know-
you mean.
do
You
you-
mean in a year?
Yeah, in a year.
Because you've already made the millions.
Of course, of
okay?
course.
So
of course.
in
But it
12
took
months.
9 years to do that.
Oh, wow.
To become a millionaire,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And, it's interesting. I realized, I was doing the calculation yesterday. Do you know that somebody who makes $40,000 a year, Rasheeda, takes 45 years to be a millionaire?
Wow.
To make $1 million.
Just make $1 million.
For 45 years.
45 long years.
40,000 a year. It's taken 45 years to make $1 million.
Wow. Wow.
And I
it
did
took
it.
you in
It took me in
years.
9. Isn't that incredible?
That's awesome. Did you
Yeah.
have mentors?
Not necessarily.
Uh-huh.
The Bible.
The Bible.
The Bible. I
Bible.
used it, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I buy CDs, and so I kind of bought motivational CDs
Right.
and read motivational books.
Right.
So I did have those,
Right.
and those always give you guidance.
Right.
Those always help.
Right.
And it's interesting because it actually allowed me, because of all the clarity I got
Yeah.
about myself
Yeah.
and who I am
Yeah.
and helping people and all.
Uh-huh.
Do you know I actually wrote a book?
You wrote a book during all this time of making millions?
I wrote a book. I took a year off. I wrote a book. And that's what's really amazing about this opportunity
Interesting.
that I'm involved in. You can actually take time off and still have money coming in. It's called residual income.
Yes.
And because I didn't want to just make money.
Right.
And I make money, and then what happens when I stop?
Right.
I wanted to be able to be in a position whereby if I stop, you ready?
Right.
The money will never stop.
It would never stop.
Oh, by the way, this is the book. Make this your
Wow.
best year ever.
Make this your best year ever.
Yes, and it's amazing. This is 2015, and I'm here to tell your audience, I'm here to tell anybody out there listening, listen, you can. It's not too late to make 2015 your best year ever.
Wow.
Yeah, so get a copy of this book. Amazing, amazing deal. It's really amazing seeing
We're
lives
so
change.
proud of you. So you didn't only just make $1 million. He also wrote a book.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is great. So that turnaround happened for you. That phone call came in the moment he made the confession. The phone call came in the next day. You started working it out. Now explain to me the stick-to-itiveness.
Well, stick-to-itiveness. Yeah,
Okay.
it just means
Stick to it.
it means when you do something,
Right.
you stick to it.
You stick to it.
See, some people, have you ever heard the term a jack of all trades, master of none?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
There are so many of them out there,
Yeah,
Rasheeda,
yeah.
you wouldn't even believe
Yeah.
it. So many of them out there.
believe.
So when you do something, and it makes sense, it gotta make
Right,
sense.
right.
It gotta make
not-
sense.
it's not everything
Yeah, if they tell you to go sell cassette tapes, and you're gonna be a millionaire selling cassette tapes,
Okay.
it ain't gonna work.
Because I know that we spoke a while back, and there was something that you stuck to so strongly.
Yes.
And it didn't work out.
Yeah.
too
Oh,
well.
yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So prior to that, being in business and doing that, I did it for 7 years, and one of these multi-level marketing opportunities, and did it for 7 years, and invested everything in it, and $45,000 in debt.
Wow.
So that contributed a lot to me being in debt.
Right.
But I learned from it. I learned not the mistakes not to make ever again.
Okay.
And like I said, this business partner called me September 9. I'll never forget the day. It was actually a Saturday.
Wow.
Saturday, September 9, 2006. I remember
Wow.
vividly. And it changed everything for me.
Changed it for
And, it's amazing because what I do now, I actually help other people
Help other
create
people.
wealth for themselves and
Okay.
be able to live the life that they want to live, be able to have the homes that they want to have and the cars that they want to drive, and be able to put good food on their children's
And be at
tables. And
peace.
yeah, be at peace. Oh, yeah.
Live the life that God has called you to live.
Yes, yes.
Oh, wow,
There's a
that's
saying, people say money is not everything. Let me tell you something.
Money good,
Money
honey.
might not be everything. You ready? But it's right up there with oxygen. Yeah, you need money to survive.
You need money to live.
You need money for the ministry.
Oh, my
You need money to
goodness.
buy the Bibles.
You do.
You need money to give back
Yes,
to a
you do.
community.
Yes, you
Like,
do.
right now we're working on, helping others in Nigeria and helping bring them up. And,
Okay.
and because that's where God,
Giving
that's where I
back to the
started. Yeah,
community.
you
That's
got to give
awesome.
back and you got to help your people.
That's awesome.
And so it's really a good feeling. I feel really good. I'm truly happy. Just being at the place I am
Yeah.
and being able to relate to other people who've
Right.
been through whatever they've been through, and I just want them to know that it's gonna be okay. Whatever
Oh,
you're going
wow.
through, wherever you are right now, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna come out of it, and you're gonna become a superstar because that's who you are. That's who God created you to be.
Oh my God, we would just like to really thank Mr. Dave Ajarin for being here, giving us a little bit of insight on how he moved from childhood to Nigeria, coming back to America, going through the struggles,
Yes.
the huddles, the hardships, and all of that, and eventually by the grace of God, being one of our amazing Nigerian millionaire in the Gwinnett area in Georgia. And what were some of the things that we can pick up from what Dave said? The number one thing that I cannot forget is the book.
Yes.
Okay? The book is extremely important. Take this book as your manual of life. Believe in it. Pick words from it that you can confess it to your own life. And profess it, confess it, and walk in it. Because that's what God has called you to be, is great. So we want to really thank you, Dave, for coming out and sharing this with us. And we're going to have you on again because you got to let us know how we can also make this million.
Absolutely.
Sticking to it is nice, but we need to know that. Another thing I picked up is what he said. Make sure the business is what you stick with the business. Okay? Not something takes.
free.